Hello everyone, this is the Leech bringing you Game 2 in a best of 3 between the pink Zerg here in the bottom right corner of Shakura's Plateau, Stephano from the team Millennium, and his opponent will be the red Terran over here in the bottom left of Shakura's Shakura's Plateau, Cloud, who is sponsored by Meet Your Maker. So they are spawning kind of the closest positions you can be. They're not cross, but of course you can't spawn close positions anymore. Stephano says go pink Power Rangers, and I believe he actually said that the first game too, so I'm not sure if that's something he does every single game or what. Stephano moving out to scout a little bit early, it looks like. Yes, very early scout even, to go see what Cloud is doing. And really, if Cloud tries to sneak out another fast expansion like he did last game, Stephano could be a lot more ready for it and possibly do some early Zergling attacks and ruin Cloud's day. We'll see what they decide to do here though, if Cloud's going to go for a very similar build or not. Looks like Cloud is moving out with his SCV as well. Not sure where he's heading to. It looks like he's going to go scout as well. Actually, nope. Going to lay down his barracks here on the low ground. And if Stephano starts attacking that SCV, there's nothing that Cloud's going to be able to do. He's going to have to send down 2 SCVs, but they're going to be quite late. SCV turning to battle the drone even, deciding to continue the barracks with a more healthy SCV there. So the drone continuing being chased around. My goodness, I am so sorry for my lack of English here today. Overlord is going to move in here and see, or position himself in a place where he can see some interesting things here. Shakura's Plateau, of course, did remove, most recent version removed the destructible rocks that are on the side of each base, so a little less for players to worry about. Also, they ruined the smiley face expansion. It's kind of like a fish face expansion now, and the top one actually looks like a dude with blue hair and green ears, in my opinion. So that one's kind of cool now. Before it was nothing. Marine's starting to be pumped out by Cloud, getting his orbital command now. Still no gas, so this could be an indication that he's going to be expanding fairly early. He is sitting at about 200 minerals right now. The hatchery of Stephano has gone down. He has the Overlord sitting above it to make sure no bunker rush or any crazy business is going to be coming in here. This Marine should be able to finish off this drone unless he decides to gas steal, which he does. Very annoying for a Zerg player to do, but a very good move as well. So the expansion coming down by Cloud, Stephano is going to see that immediately. He does have the spawning pool about halfway complete and getting a gas as well. Oh, actually that gas is the one coming down at this expansion. Sorry about that. So he's going to continue canceling that, and Cloud is not going to be able to... Actually, no, the drone's going to run out and actually get killed. So there you have it. He could have canceled that a few more times. Probably not worth the minerals though. He saw what he needed to see there and he wasn't going to get any further scouting information out of it, so not really worth spending the time to do that sort of thing. Cloud here searching out to make sure there's no double expanding nonsense going on. That is something that some Zergs will do, is if they see a Terran expand that early, they'll just throw down 2 expansions and be ahead on the economy again, pretty much mitigating that expansion of the Terran. Queens now starting to come out for Stephano. He does have a very defined timing for that, of course. Those 2 queens come out exactly after the spawning pool finishes every time, it seems like. There is no speed coming down just yet. He is getting the gas for it, and I'm sure that he will get that upgrade as soon as he possibly can. Overlord continuing to just peek in here, wants to see if there's gas here. He is going to see that there's a gas there, and so he got the information he needed. Command Center is about to finish up. Another barracks coming down at the front for Cloud right now, and a spine crawler coming down at the front for Stephano. So to speak about Game 1 a little bit, little spoiler for everyone if you haven't seen it yet, Stephano was able to take the game. Cloud actually got a 3rd down before Stephano did, at the gold expansion even, but Stephano made the right move by expanding to both of the far sides on Zelnaga and was able to make sure that the slow mech army of Cloud was not able to kill both of those expansions very quickly. So it was a solid move by Stephano taking both those expansions. One of them was taken down quickly, the other one stayed up for quite a while, so it was a good move by him. Gave him some extra larva, my goodness people, my goodness. Gave him some extra larva and a little bit of extra income. He never really fully saturated it, so it wasn't huge for income, but just having it there with the extra larva was a big deal. 3rd racks came down for Cloud, and he is going to tech lab and researching that stim very early. Important to get that stim out as early as possible, especially since they raised the time again that it requires. And we are seeing speed for the Zerglings about to finish up. 3 Marines pumping out at a time, and layer tech just now being started for Stephano, getting a second gas geyser there. And no 3rd and 4th coming just yet. Continue to spread this creep. Stephano has great creeps, but he's already got 3 tumors out there actively going. And he always does get a third queen in order to spread that as fast as possible. And on these large maps like this, it makes a huge difference, especially the earlier you can get it out, the bigger difference it's going to make. Baneling Nest now coming down for Stephano. That layer's about halfway done. Getting a reactor on what I believe is a factory. Yes, he's probably going to switch it out with his starport, though. Maybe go Medivacs to start doing some drop play. I'm not sure. Starport's just now going to finish up at about the exact same time as the reactor, so these players do have impeccable timing. And Engineering Bay is also coming down to start getting those vital upgrades for the infantry units. More drones coming out right now for Stephano, and 2 more gas geysers coming down. Baneling Nest just about to complete for him. We do see that starport lift off and land on the reactor, and yes, 2 medevacs coming out at a time. The Overlord's going to come in here and start taking a peek. We'll see if the Cloud pulls up his Marines to kill that. He should see it just about right now. There's a Spire also coming down for Stephano. We'll see where he decides to lay that. It looks like he's going to lay it in the main there. Let's see if Cloud reacts to this Overlord. He's really being given an Overlord right now, and hopefully he notices that going through his base. 2 medevacs about to finish now, and a third hatch. Another macro hatch, so interesting play by Stephano. Seems like he really seems to favor a macro hatch instead of trying to get a third base. And that is a big discussion amongst Zerg players, if they want to take a third base or if they just go for a macro hatch. A third base can be a lot harder to defend, especially this early in the game if your creep isn't spread far enough. But Stephano's done a great job spreading his creep, and it's already up to the 3rd expansion. Evolution Chamber now finishing up for Stephano. 12 Banelings being morphed in, Baneling speed on the way, and this macro hatch is about halfway done. There's another command center coming down for Cloud, so Cloud is once again going to have his 3rd faster than Stephano, it looks like. Stephano's Spire is about to finish, and actually Stephano's taking his 3rd as well, so there you have it. Large group of Marines and medevacs heading out here, and that Baneling speed is going to finish here shortly. It's about 75% of the way done, and the Spire is finishing as well. So if Cloud wants to do a push, he's going to really need to get in there and do some damage before the Banelings get speed finished. Going to come in here and take a free Overlord down, maybe throw down a scan and stop this creep spread. Those 2 hatcheries are about to finish up right now for Stephano. Stephano is actually currently supply blocked 68 over 60, so kind of a big deal for him. Cloud is probably gonna get a cancel here on this expansion. Lots of Zerglings running up though, and Banelings right behind them. He does get the cancel, loads up into the medevacs. Beautiful play, loses a few Marines, no big deal. He's gonna come drop now in the natural, and armory being finished up right now for Cloud. That 3rd command center is about to finish, and siege mode is on the way, as well as siege tanks. 4 Mutas being pumped out right now for Cloud, and Cloud's just continuing to do some damage here. He really needs to get out of here before the Mutas come out, and the Mutas are going to finish here any moment. And Cloud actually pushing a little bit back in there. I'm not sure if that was the greatest move. Dropping on the high and low ground, but Baneling's coming in and killing absolutely everything. The medevac is the only survivor with 1 Marine inside. Combat shield's about to finish up for him. Stim is already finished, and the only upgrades he has left for the barracks is concussive shells and the Reaper upgrade, which probably will not be gotten this game. Level 1 Zerg ground carapace coming for Stephano, and there is Mutas out right now. Here is a group of 4, and there's more on the way. Siege mode is about to finish up for Cloud, and double level 1 upgrades coming up for Cloud 4's infantry right now. More siege tanks being pumped out, a few missile turrets being laid down, as Cloud probably saw that Mutas could possibly be coming, so a few turrets in very strategic locations here just to stop those Mutas from pushing in. Banelings and Zerglings waiting at the 3rd here for Cloud to try and lay it down, so they are going to delay that 3rd of Cloud as Cloud delayed the 3rd of Stephano. Here comes some Marines to try and push out the Mutas. Stephano going to try and get a few kills off, forces a stim, and every time he forces a stim, that's a big deal. Those medevacs are going to have that much less energy as they have to heal those units up. The 3rd again coming down for Stephano at the north expansion here. This one probably will make it all the way through, as Stephano is sitting at the front gates there of Cloud. Both level 1 upgrades for Cloud about to finish. Well, not about to finish, they're about halfway done. 8 Mutas coming in again for Stephano here right by the South Zelnaga Tower. And Mutas are going to push in here and try and do a little bit more harass. I don't think they're going to be able to do too much. There's Marines and turrets all over the place. Cloud's going to try and land his 3rd again, and with the Marines there and a siege tank on the high ground, I'm not sure if Stephano's going to be able to stop that, but really if he goes and attacks with Mutas from this location right here, there's nothing Cloud's going to be able to do about it. And here they come, sure enough. Burrow is starting to be researched. 12 drones coming out right now for Stephano, so they are going to rush up to this expansion and quickly saturate it. Command center actually might go on fire here. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. Siege tank being taken down. Great Muta harass by Stephano all over the place. Is run into a missile turret there though and decides to back out. Didn't lose too many Mutas though, and this 3rd base is really fully saturated for Stephano, and Cloud's still unable to lay his down. Trying to lay it down now, but if he does in front of these Banelings, that could be bad. Lots of SCVs coming out right now, but these Mutas are continuing to shoot it, and if these SCVs are not able to repair it soon, Oh, a Baneling kills all the SCVs right now. That command center might go down. It's going to be really close. Stephano, I feel like you should commit and try and drop that command center. That would be a huge move there. Another hatch coming down by Stephano. This is actually his 5th hatchery and his 4th expansion, or 3rd expansion even. 4th base that could possibly be mining. Take a look at this command center. Still almost dying. He's trying to morph into a planetary, and this command center is actually going to go down. That is a huge deal for Stephano. Stephano's about 25 ahead on the supply. Level 3 attack coming down for Cloud right now. Losing quite a few mutas there and some Zerglings to the siege tanks there on the high ground. Cloud, though, still on 2 base, so he really needs to get his 3rd up and running right now. More Zerglings coming down. Another command center trying to be laid down here by Cloud. And once again, the level 3 upgrade and for attack and level 2 armor right now coming down for Cloud. Muta still sitting here near the base of Cloud, ready to harass. Zerg Flyer Attacks level 1 coming down, and Zerg Carapace coming down as well. That 3rd expansion is about to finish up right now for Stephano. Multiple Overlords on the way right now, as he is getting fairly close on his supply, 126 out of 128. Lots of Marines coming out right now for Cloud. A large amount of Marines and medevacs. No siege tanks coming out right now. Mutalisk discovering there's not too many Marines there, not as many as they thought, and deciding to just take them down. Command Center is about halfway finished now, laid down at this expansion, and Cloud is just doing a slow push up. He really needs, he knows that he has to get this down and get it saturated very soon. Cloud's actually catching up on the supply, 149 to 142 here, and a medevac drop coming up with lots of Marines to the 4th base of Cloud, and we'll see if Cloud's going to be able to take this down. Lots of Zerglings here, and this drop is just going to be stopped right in its tracks. Muta's going to finish off everything else. Big push, though, coming in from Cloud. Large sim, he knows the army is out of place. He scans, and he's going to take down as many of these creep tumors as he possibly can. Siege tanks getting into siege mode, as he knows the counterattack is going to be coming here very shortly. And it looks like he's just making this move so that he can get this 3rd established, or I hope that's his idea, as it would be a very good idea. He needs to lift this off and get that over to that 3rd base and start saturating that. Here comes the big attack, though, from the Zerg. Lots of Zerglings, lots of Banelings. Banelings moving right in. Good spread, though, by Cloud. So Banelings not doing as much damage as they could possibly doing, but the Banelings taking out almost all the Marines. Oh, that hurts Cloud's face. Very much so. Cloud's about 20 supply again behind. There's 2 medevacs left here, but they're going to be taken out by the mutas eventually. Zerglings continue to push in and take out as many Marines as they can. Cloud left with just about a pure medevac army here. A few siege tanks out right now, and they're going to scare off the rest of the units. So taking a look at the units lost tab, we can see that the Zerg has actually lost more units overall, losing a lot of Zerglings and everything, but his economy is so much higher. If we look at our income tab, we're going to see that he does have 12 more harvesters and more bases here. Medevac's still trying to escape, but they are going to be killed, go down in a fiery death here, and the income is just ridiculously in favor of Stephano. 2,200 minerals to 800 minerals per minute. 700 gas to 400 gas per minute. That's a huge deal. Lots of Banelings morphing in right now. 15 of them. Planetary Fortress coming down at the 3rd for Cloud. So that's also going to hurt his economy, not having those mules or the extra energy from another orbital to be able to lay those mules down. Looks like Stephano staying on the offensive here. Lots of Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks right near the 3rd of Cloud. Probably not going to try and run in anytime too soon here. There's lots of siege tanks sieged up. There's about 58 Zerglings being pumped out right there for Stephano. Also taking his 5th base at this location. Cloud just now getting his 3rd base set up, but probably what Cloud is thinking is he's going to go for his large army on 3 base and just make that push and try and end Stephano completely. Starting to get out some Thors, getting that level 3 armor upgrade for the Marines and Marauders. And Stephano still just kind of keeping his map control right now. The creep spread is looking very nice. Do see one SCV here just scouting around to make sure no crazy business is going on. And Stephano's actually going to choose to commit here. Very interesting choice. Rushing in. Siege tanks doing a lot of damage to everything here. And the Planetary Fortress also helping out. Mutas are going to come up and clean a lot of the mess, though. But that really evened out the supply there a decent amount. And as I say that, Banelings demolish a large amount of units. Muta's now going to be killing quite a few medevacs here, and there's a lot of burrowed Banelings here, and if Cloud is not careful, he's going to run right on top of them. Yep, just pop up one Zergling at a time there and just kill a group of Marines, no big deal. So here come more Marines, and still lots of burrowed Banelings, but nice scan by Cloud, knowing those were there. Muta's trying to do some damage here to the Planetary. 2 Thors coming out, though, and the Mutas need to get out of dodge! Oh my, they take so much damage there. So the supplies end up still in favor of Stephano by about 30, and Stephano does have that 5th base up and running, so really Cloud is not looking too hot right now. If Stephano can continue to harass and continue just taking out siege tanks and denying that inevitable large push that could come eventually, then he's going to be looking perfectly fine. So looking at the units tab, we'll see the siege tank count is down to 1, 2 Thors, and 15 Marines. So Cloud really needs to start doing some draw play or something to try and come back from this, because as we look at the income tab